In this video, Timmy's going to show you how to use Quick Share on a Chromebook. This feature actually used to be named Nearby Share, so if you see Nearby Share written somewhere, anywhere, it's actually Quick Share now, but whatever you want to call it, in this video, Timmy's going to show you how to use it. Quick Share on a Chromebook is a feature that allows you to easily send a file from your Chromebook to any other Chromebook or to an Android phone or Apple Android tablet that's nearby. It's very much like Apple's Airdrop, if you've ever used that, except instead of working on an iPhone and iPad and MacBooks and things like that, it works on Chromebooks and Android phones and Android tablets. So, if you want to quickly send a file from your Android phone over to your Chromebook, or maybe from your Chromebook to your phone, or maybe you have a friend or a coworker that's sitting right next to you with their Chromebook, and you want to send a file from your Chromebook over to their Chromebook, you can do that. You don't have to attach the file to an email or upload the file to Google Drive or anything like that. You can just quickly and easily send it across using Quick Share. To use Quick Share, you will need to enable Quick Share and set it up on both the devices, so the device that's sending and the device that's receiving. So on your Chromebook, you'll need to open up the Settings app by clicking on the app launcher in the bottom left-hand corner here, and then scroll down in the app launcher until you find the Settings app and click on it to open it up. There is another way you can open the Settings app, but that's probably the easiest. And now, fairly close to the top of the Settings app, you'll see this Connected Devices section here, and you might see your phone here if you have that set up, or there might be a setup button next to that. But below that will be Quick Share. And if you've ever set up Quick Share before, you might see an arrow and an on-off switch where you can change the settings of it. But if you've never set up Quick Share, like Timmy has never set up Quick Share, you get this Setup button next to it here, and you just need to click Setup here. And now it will pop up and it will give you a few options to configure Quick Share. The first option is the device name. So when another device goes to share something with Quick Share, they will see a list of all the available devices on their screen. So they might see Bob's Chromebook and Timmy's phone and all the devices like that. So you want to make sure this name is something that people will recognize when they're trying to share a file with you in Quick Share, and it should automatically do it based on your name on your Google account. Because this is a demo account, it's actually put an extra S in there, which is a bit weird, so we'll just fix that up. So you can change things like that if you need to, but if you don't, you can just leave it as it is. And you can also change the device visibility. So by default, it will be set to all contacts. So that means anyone who is in your contacts will be able to see that you have Quick Share enabled, and they'll be able to share files to you. So that means you can send files from your device to this Chromebook, or someone who is in your contacts can send files from their device to this Chromebook, but no strangers will be able to randomly just come near you and send you a file. Or if you click here to change that, you can also choose your devices. So this means no one in your contacts will be able to send you a file with Quick Share. You can only send a file from your phone, or maybe if you have another Chromebook that's also yours, you could send a file from your other Chromebook to this Chromebook. So you can do that if you want to, if you don't want anyone else to use Quick Share with you. Or you can actually choose Hidden, and that's kind of like having Quick Share off, but it means you'll be able to send files. So if you set up Quick Share and you have it turned on, but you choose the Hidden setting here, that means no one can send a file to your Chromebook with Quick Share, but you can send a file from your Chromebook to someone else's device or to another one of your devices or something like that. So If you don't want to receive any, you can leave it set to hidden. But to get the full quick share experience, you'll probably want to leave it set to contacts and click confirm. And now, whether you change that or not, you'll now have quick share set up and enabled on your device. And there's a few other settings that you can look through here if you want to, but you don't really need to. Once you've set this up, quick share is enabled and ready to go on your Chromebook, but you will also need to enable quick share on the other device as well. So if the other device is someone else's device, you need to get them to enable quick share on their device. So you might want to show them this video. Or if you have two Chromebooks that are both yours and the other device is your Chromebook, so you're going to send the files from one Chromebook to the other Chromebook, you need to skip back a bit in the video and follow this same process we just did on this Chromebook on the other Chromebook so that both your Chromebooks have quick share set up and enabled. Or if the other device is your Android phone or tablet, you'll need to go on your phone and open up the Settings app. And unfortunately, the Settings app on Android looks quite different depending on the brand of phones, but the menus are usually pretty similar, so you should be able to follow along. And Timmy's got two different examples of quite different looking brands of phones, so hopefully one of these will be quite similar to your phone. But when you get into the Settings app, you'll need to tap on Connected Devices up here. It might be called something slightly different on your phone, but it should be near the top and it should say something like Connected Devices. And now, on a Samsung phone, or probably a lot of other similar phones, the Quick Share menu will just be in this menu here, and you can tap on it. On a Google Pixel, however, and possibly quite a few other phones, that'll just bring you to the Bluetooth menu, and you'll need to scroll down below that and tap Connection Preferences here, and then you'll find Quick Share, and you can tap on Quick Share. But now, once you've done that, you should be in the Quick Share settings for your Android device. So you can choose your account. So if you want to make sure your phone is on the same account as your Chromebook or something, you can do that. That would be a good idea. So you can tap there and choose the correct account. Timmy's on the correct demo account here. And you can also choose the device name. So if you need to change the name of what your device will show up in the list of devices to share to, you can do that. Timmy might delete the additional S here because we don't want that. And then it's really just turning it on. So we can see who can share with you is set to no one. So we'll tap on that and we'll turn on visible to nearby devices there. So you'll tap that switch to turn that on. And then you can choose your devices or contacts or everyone. So we'll go with contacts and go back. And now this phone is ready to send and receive files with Quick Share. Or on this Samsung phone, the menu looks a bit different again, but it's really the same options. We have who can share with you, and it says no one. So we'll tap that and we'll set it to contacts only and tap done. And there's no switch to turn on, but that's okay. It's now set to contacts only, and we can change the name here if we need to, but that name is perfectly fine. So we're ready to go. So it does look a bit different on different devices, but hopefully you'll be able to figure it out. You really just need to come in and make sure it's turned on and set up to allow contacts to share with you and make sure the name is all good. And then you'll be ready to start sharing files with Quick Share. But just keep in mind, if you're sharing a file from one of your devices to another device, you want to make sure you're signed into the same Google account on both devices. Because if you have two accounts, and you have account 1 on your Chromebook and account 2 on your phone, or something like that, you probably don't have your other account saved in your contacts of the other account. So the account that your phone is using might not be saved in the contacts of the account that your Chromebook is using, or vice versa. So then, when you try to quick share between these two devices, it thinks you're a stranger and it doesn't let you do it. So you could add your other account to your contacts on both your accounts, and you do have to wait a while for that to process and actually start accepting files. But if you do that, that would work. Or you could just make sure you're using the same account on both of your devices, and that way it will even work if it's set to only your devices, because they're both clearly your devices. But with that out of the way, we can start transferring files. And Timmy will run through all the different device combinations that you might have. But to start with, we're going to go from Chromebook to Chromebook. So let's say you have a picture on this Chromebook and you want to transfer it across to this Chromebook. The first thing you need to do is pull up the picture on this Chromebook. So we have this picture here in the Files app that we want to share. And when you're sharing from your Chromebook, it's probably going to be in the Files app. If you have an Android app on your Chromebook that has something inside that you want to share, and there's a share button, you can click that share button in that app, and that'll do the same thing. But you'll probably be in the Files app, and you'll have a file like this. And you'll just need to single click on it, so a normal standard click to highlight the file like that. And now, up in near this top right hand corner of the Files app, there'll be this share icon there. That's what the share icon looks like. And you'll just need to click on that. And now it'll bring up a few different sharing options. And one of those options is Quick Share. So all you need to do is click Quick Share here. And now, assuming your other Chromebook is turned on and it has Quick Share enabled, and it's awake, so the screen is on, and it's near your Chromebook. It doesn't have to be really close to your Chromebook, just as long as it's in the same room maybe, it'll be fine. And then it should pop up here, so we can see we have Timmy's Chromebook, and all you need to do is click Timmy's Chromebook and click Next. And now it will begin transferring the file. So we see it there, and we see it here. And now, as you can see, in those few seconds, the file has transferred across to this Chromebook. So there is a notification here showing you that you received a file with Quick Share, and you can click on that notification if you want to. But now that it's done and the transfer is complete, you can just click on the Files app on the Chromebook that you sent the file to, and go into the Downloads folder in the My Files section, and this file that you just transferred will be somewhere in the Downloads folder here. So now you can click on it and open it up and do whatever you want with it. You now have this file in the Downloads folder on this Chromebook. So that's all there is to that, and you could now delete the file from the original Chromebook or keep the file there as well if you want to, but you've now successfully transferred a file from one Chromebook to another using Quick Share. So that's how that works. But if you want to transfer a file from a Chromebook to an Android phone or tablet using Quick Share, it's pretty much the same process. All you need to do is pull up whatever you want to share. So if it was something in an Android app, as long as there's a share button you can click somewhere, you can click that share button. But it'll probably be something in the Files app here. So you'll single click on it, just do a normal click to highlight the file, and then come up and click the share icon up near the top right hand corner here. And then in this menu that appears, click Quick Share. And now, assuming your phone is on and it has Quick Share enabled and everything's set up correctly, you should see your phone right here. So the devices do need to be reasonably close to each other, at least in the same room. As you can see, Timmy's devices are very close. So we'll go ahead and select the correct device and then just click Next. And now it will transfer the file from the Chromebook to the phone. And as you can see here, it's popped up on the phone saying the file has been received. So now, because this is a picture, you have the choice to view it in the Downloads folder, or view it in the Google Photos app. Timmy's going to choose Downloads. And now it will pull up the Downloads folder on your phone in the Files app. And you'll see you have the picture or whatever file it was right here. This will obviously look a bit different on different brands of phones. If we just quickly share the file again using Quick Share, and this time we choose Timmy's Samsung phone and send it there, it all looks exactly the same on the Chromebook, but as you can see on the Samsung phone, it just looks a little bit different. And now we just have the option to close the notification or open it. So we'll tap open there. And now we can see the photo in the Gallery app. So it is a bit different on different phones, but it will successfully send the file from the Chromebook to the Android phone. One thing you will want to be aware of is if you're sharing a photo from the Chromebook to the Android device and you use Google Photos to view your photos on the Android device, you'll want to make sure you enable backup for the Quick Share folder. So if we switch back to this phone again, after you have shared the file with Quick Share, so we have it here, you want to go out of the Files app and open up the Google Photos app and then tap on Library. And you'll see in this Photos on Device section here, the photo is in here in a folder named Quick Share. So if you want, you can come into Google Photos in here and tap on that and see all the photos that you've received via Quick Share, but they will not be backing up to your Google Photos and they will not appear in your main Google Photos library with all of your other photos. So if you don't want it to do that, that's fine. But if you want this photo to back up and appear in your main Google Photos library, you want to tap this switch and turn that on. And now all the photos you've received from Quick Share in the past will back up and join your Google Photos library. And any photo you received from Quick Share in the future will do that automatically. And this photo was actually taken in 2016. So if you can't see it at the top of your library, that'll be because it'll be down with the other photos that were taken in March 2016. So just be aware of that as well. When you come back out here after turning that switch on, you quite likely won't see it at the top because it'll be down at the date it was taken. But if you do that, you'll now be able to access all of the photos you've received in Quick Share in the Google Photos app. So that's all there is to transferring a file via Quick Share from your Chromebook to an Android device. But what if you want to transfer from the Android device to the Chromebook? Well, it's actually a fairly similar process, just a little bit different. On the Android device, you'll need to pull up whatever file you want to share. So you just basically need to be looking at something where you can tap a share button on your phone. So you could pull up a picture in Google Photos and tap share down here. And then in this share menu, you would see Quick Share there. And on other devices, once again, it can look a little bit different. If we pull up Google Photos on this device and tap this picture and tap share, it'll bring you here and you'll need to tap the three dots here that say more, and then you'll have to wait a second and then you'll get this normal menu with a Quick Share. So in some apps and devices, you might have to tap more or something like that to see the Quick Share option, but you should be able to figure it out. Or it doesn't have to be Google Photos. It could be a file in the Files app. So maybe you've downloaded a PDF and you want to share it. You could tap the three dots here and tap the share button, and then that would pull up the same sharing menu. Or perhaps a picture someone has sent you in messages. You could tap the share button here and send that. Or you could even be on a web page in Google Chrome and tap the three dots in the top right-hand corner here, and then tap share. And then you could send a link to your Chromebook and you could open up that link on your Chromebook so you could see it on a bigger screen. So there's lots of different options like that. You just need to pull up whatever you want to share. To me, I'll go with this and tap the share button. And you will need to make sure the Chromebook is near your phone, so at least in the same room, so that they can communicate with each other. And the Chromebook will need to be awake at the time, so the screen will need to be on and it can't have fallen asleep. But as long as that's all good, you can go ahead and tap Quick Share. And now it will look for devices you can share with. As we can see, we have Timmy's other phone and Timmy's Chromebook. So we'll choose Timmy's Chromebook there. And now it will begin transferring. So it says connecting now. So you'll just need to wait for it to connect. And it's popped up on the Chromebook. And now we can see a notification on the Chromebook saying it's received this file from Timmy's phone. So now you could tap on the notification or click on the notification on your Chromebook. And if it's a picture, it'll open it. Or if it's a link, it'll go to that link in Chrome. Or, assuming it is a file, you can open up the Files app and come into the Downloads folder here. And you will now have this picture that you shared from your phone to your Chromebook in the Downloads folder here. So now you've successfully transferred this picture from the phone to the Chromebook. And that's all there is to all of these methods. But there is one more thing we haven't discussed, and that's receiving files from someone who isn't in your contacts. One option here would be to just add the other person to your contacts, but when Timmy was testing this earlier, it seems like it takes quite a while for the contacts to update. So if you add someone to your contacts and then immediately try to receive a file from them, it might not work. So the other option is to temporarily open it up so that anyone can send you a file. That way, no matter what Google account the other device is using, you'll be able to receive files from them. If you're receiving the file on a Chromebook, all you need to do is come down to the bottom right-hand corner and click on the menu button down here. Click on the time basically to bring up this quick settings menu. And then in this menu here, you should see an option called Quick Share, and it should probably say Everyone Off. And you'll just want to click on that option here. And now it will open it up in this window here. And now for the next 5 minutes, your Chromebook can receive files from any device. So that could be an Android device or it could be a Chromebook, any device, and it doesn't have to belong to someone in your contacts. It can be anyone at all, and you can just send that file. You will often have to click an accept button to accept the file. So Timmy switched accounts on Timmy's phone so that it looks like a stranger, and Timmy will now send a file to the Chromebook this way. And as we see on the Chromebook, it's asking if you want to accept or decline the file, and we will of course accept that. But if you had this enabled and then a stranger tried to send you a file, maybe you wouldn't accept it. But if that's the file you were waiting for, you would obviously accept that. And now you've been able to send a file from a different device to your Chromebook, even though it's not your device and they're not in your contacts. And you can do something very similar on Android. If you want to send the device from a foreign Chromebook to your Android device, all you need to do is pull up the Settings app. So we'll go here into the Settings and go back to the Quick Share settings, however you do that on your phone. And here where it says who can share with you and it's set to contacts, you need to tap on that and change that to everyone nearby. And on Android, it actually lets you do this permanently. So you could set it to everyone nearby, and then whenever anyone tries to send you a file, they'll be able to. But if you don't want to have it like this all the time, you could tap this box here and turn it on so that it'll only work for 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, it'll switch back to only your contacts. And it's similar on other phones as well. If we pull up the Samsung phone again, we can go to Connected Devices and Quick Share. And now if we choose Who Can Share With You, we can set it to everyone. and choose whether or not we want it to be only for 10 minutes. And then tap done. And you will have to accept the file on your phone if it's a stranger sharing it with you. So if we test it out by quickly sharing a file from the Chromebook, we'll wait for it to appear. Here it is, Timmy's Pixel 7 Pro. We'll share it with there. The phone will pop up with a message asking if you want to accept this, and you'll just need to accept it, and then the same normal thing will happen. It will then receive the file and save it where your phone saves quick share files. And that's all there is to it. That's all you need to know about using quick share on your Chromebook, and about using quick share on an Android device for that matter. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and Timmy will see you in the next one.